Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be reviewing tips for the removal and replacement of the spark plugs and coils on this 2024 Kia Sorento with the 2.5 liter non-turbo engine. If you find my tips to be helpful, please like, subscribe, and comment. Now let's get started. Spark plugs and coils are located in the center of your screen near the tip of my pointer underneath that foam insulator. Some of the symptoms associated with faulty spark plugs and coils include misfire, trouble starting, rough idle, poor fuel economy, slow acceleration, engine knocking, a check engine light with trouble codes P0300 through P0304. So you might ask, what do these parts do? Well, the spark plugs ignites the engine fuel mixture, and the coils transforms the battery voltage to a much higher voltage for the spark plugs. Our supply list includes a 10mm socket with a ratchet. You'll also need a 5/8" socket for the spark plugs with a long extension and a medium-sized ratchet. I also recommend that you have some dielectric grease and possibly even some anti-seize lubricant. Please see other items in the description below. So let's go ahead and move forward with the removal and replacement of the spark plugs and coils. In order to remove this foam cover here, you're going to have to disconnect all of the electrical connectors for the coils. So you just take your thumbnail, unlock, squeeze, and pull. Unlock, squeeze, and pull. Squeeze and pull, squeeze and pull. With those out of the way, very carefully lift up from the back and pull towards the windshield. It tears very easy, so be gentle. Set that off to the side. Okay, now you have your inline 4-cylinder engine with the coils fully exposed. For demonstration purposes, we'll be removing and replacing the coil and spark plug at this location. Using my 10mm socket, I'm going to loosen that bolt right there. Now very carefully and gently, slowly squeeze up on the coil. I like to inspect my coil as soon as I take it out, so let's go ahead and do that. So you have your electrical connectors right here, and you can see that they're nice and straight. Looking at this right here, there's no bulges here. It looks like it's in the original shape from the factory, and that's what you're looking for. Moving down here, this is your dust cover. Now this should be in place. So if it was down here or not seated properly, you wouldn't want that. But this is a critical part, and it helps keep dust from going down and into the spark plug hole. Okay? Looking at the shaft here, looks nice and straight just like the factory. And then I look right down the barrel and I'm looking for my electrical connector, and you'll see there's a little spring in there, right? And what you're looking for is whether or not there's any corrosion in there. And I don't see any corrosion. It'd be really nice if there was a light coat of dielectric grease too, but I don't see any. Through with that inspection, I'm gonna set this off to the side. So now I'm pulling out my 5/8" socket with an extension. Carefully go down. Just so you know, the spark plugs were loosened up for the demonstration. Okay, and there you have it. There's your spark plug. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the spark plug because there's lots of videos about that. What I will say is that this is an iridium tip spark plug. It's in very good condition. I see a little bit of, I could tell that moisture has gotten in here, so it's possible that we could use some anti-seize lubricant. And if you look on the screen, I'll have the part number, torque specifications, and also the gap setting for the spark plug. If this was a brand new spark plug, what I would do is apply a very light coat of dielectric grease onto this porcelain insulator. And what that will do is allow me to see if there's any cracks on this porcelain insulator. If there are any cracks, you throw it away. Okay? So that's one reason for the dielectric grease. The second reason is that by having a little bit of grease on here, it allows the insulator to slide up onto the coil, and then it easily slides off. Thirdly, if there's a little bit of dielectric grease on here, the grease will prevent arcing inside of the shaft here and possibly limit the amount of damage to the coil, which is a much more expensive part. Okay? So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the spark plug. Very carefully lower it into the hole. Okay, that's pretty tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and torque it down. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the coil. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of dielectric grease to the tip of this coil here. Okay. Okay, I put a little grease on there, spent it around a couple of times, and then I'm just going to push it down firmly, just like that. Okay, you can tell it's in place because it's a little bit hard to pull out. Insert your 10mm bolt. Okay, just tighten it down. It just needs to be snug. Next, I'm going to go ahead and install the foam insulator. Okay, my foam insulator is installed. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach the electrical connectors to the coils. 1, 2, 3, 4 to lock them down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's about it. Well, folks, that wraps up this video on the removal and replacement of the spark plugs and coils on this 2024 Kia Sorento with the 2.5 liter non-turbo engine. I hope you found my tips to be helpful. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, drive defensively.